Thinking she's bigger than I'm so. Shine. I'm King and Sarah. Now. Just getting everybody right back on the right screens and sharing with the people that like to be shared with. Here in a minute we'll go looking around in our garage and see what we got that looks like fun. And then we'll take it up and see where she belongs, either drifting or time trial rivals, all the good stuff. One of these days I'm going to figure out how to either run a private room in here, which means I got to make some friends. We're going to put that as our pinned message. Well, I have just got pudgy fingers today. Now let's remove that message. Try it again. They need to make a keyboard where all the keys are a little bit further apart. Alright, made it that far. I don't think I made an extreme amount of typos. Right here in the corner, you search for that name on Xbox, type it in, do a search, add me as a friend. I'll start checking my list every now and then. You could add me on Steam. I think that's the same thing, and that's Tom Petty 26. Wish I could have more than one pinned message. Wouldn't that be great? Alright. Anyway, off to my cars. Let's see here. Filter. No, that ain't what I want. Sort. That's the button we want. By class, of course. What do we got hiding down here in E-Class that could be... Ooh, the MR2. I don't think that thing would be a good drifter, though. We want something we are going to enjoy driving. The MX-5 Miata. Or we could hop into D-Class. I got a Monaro I'm working on. I've already got one set up though. That's just TRD. She rear wheel drive? She sure is. What about the Acura? Acura is front wheel drive. We don't want to deal with the front wheel drive. The Nissan was terrifying. The Mark II Tourer is a new car. It came with the pack I got for the Pantera. The RS Turbo was fun. The Peugeot was really hard to drive. The Jetta G40 is pretty much what we were driving just a minute ago. I think this Omni is rear. Oh no, she's front wheel drive. The BMW M635. That car was actually pretty fun. I think that might be the one. It's either that or the Dino. First time we'd have to call this one Drifting Italians again. Yeah, let's hop in the 635. That's enough of that. Good Lord. How much cash we got in this thing to spend? $850. And I don't believe I've done a whole lot to it. Now, pistons and a flywheel. We'll leave that alone for now. We can go ahead and get a weight reduction going. Let's see, for $850. Ooh, it's either turbo or I really don't like the centrifugal supercharger. She is unpleasant. She makes funny power. It acts like a turbo, if that makes sense. Probably won't get any viewers. Everybody was watching the other one. I gotta get a racing game that I can bring y'all in on. One that's popular enough that y'all will have. I mean, I have Horizon 6, but I just don't like that game. It ruins me for other games because it has very unrealistic driving. Again. Now, none of this is going to hop us out of D-Class. Well, it will a little bit, but these things are necessities for later. Might as well buy them early. And I did. That leaves me $250. And I mean, I've got tires on it, but if we're going to drift this thing, they're not really all that important. I'm tempted to drop this down one and get my first level of weight reduction. And let's go find a money-making track in C-Class. We got to keep an eye on this work phone. Just so y'all know, if you hear my phone dinging, so I promise all the dinging you're hearing, I do not have an OnlyFans or one of them kind of things. Just my work phone letting me know that something's going on out in the field. Been training a guy all week, and tonight is his trial run out there by himself. But I'm staying available just in case he has any kind of emergencies. Because, you know, That's the polite way to do things. Do we want to try this thing? Let's do one in traffic. And if it's absolutely horrible, we can move over to rivals. Circuit race, track, random, number of drivatars. 15. 15 sounds good. Nice round number. Ooh, we're gonna have to change the weather though. Ooh, and the track. I don't want to do Eagle Rock. We don't believe in random weather. Well, come of it. I have found I like the thin haze. Monday noon. Club circuit. We don't want that. What else you got? Oh, club circuit reverse. Well, the game is sure being the lags. Where do we want to go? It'll be fun with other people. Maple Valley's pretty good. But I want the big Maple. Full circuit. Number of laps. Sure, 3's fine. I wish I had you. All this, yeah, and you can have me too. All right. Helps if we're on the right page. Be careful. track. Excuse me, Mr. Porsche. Slight left incoming. Oh, that was smooth. I don't care who you are. Sorry. Not a professional driver on a closed course. Yeah, I deserve that. Gotta be careful getting sideways, man. These guys will get right under you. Oh, we're gonna get an off-track penalty. That's a tire wall, or a crumple wall. It's a wall. No time gain. We're okay. My brakes are too tight. a little beat up, but it's alright. She drives good. She drives good. That J-turn though in lap 1. In traffic. I'll never do that again. That was just dumb luck. Where are they sending us? Tis a good question. I don't want to do an oval. Ovals are not fun. Oh look, another left turn. Buh. So y'all know, if you expect to see me win, well, not likely. Very not likely. Rain, going strange. The lines. Sure, why not? Put our flywheel back on. We need to adjust the brakes. And I'll hear it's crystal clear. Oh yeah. Where I was reacting to about you. Better get on track while we're still hot. Click the screen like 80 times just to make sure it takes. We're not hot. I don't know why I said that. Engine damage, minor. Oops. It happens. Gonna get a penalty. No time gain. Well, groovy. I have a no acceleration. Only running on like 2 cylinders. Might have blown the other 4 out. Leaking oil. Tires aren't breaking loose as bad because the motor's hurt. Bad thing is, she comes out of the corners like a slug now. Look at that miss. Good night. He's going around me. That was rude of me. I'll take 10th. I broke my motor. But I finished the race. Lime Rock. I need all the practice I can get here, so we'll go ahead and do it. Pretty sweet little Buick I seen just now. I like them GNXs. Wish there was one in my driveway. Maybe someday. There was one for sale down the road, but it was just the body. No motor, no transmission. Came with slicks on it though. They wanted like 3,500 or 4 grand. For a body, I don't know if that's really, I don't know what they go for. I know they're hard to find. Ugly S-curve. Get the penalty that time. Oh, no. Little Beamer, where are you going in such a hurry? didn't lose. Almost got a podium. That's rare. Very rare. Especially on this track. Yeah, job. I'm there to get the night off. I'm there to get my mind off my so-called life. That's the name you need to add on Xbox. Just saying. So-called life. Up there in the right-hand corner. I get about 3 extra friends. And then I can start running some private rooms, especially if they're friends that, you know, play. For one, and none for all. Yeah. Time to be alive. Such a waste of time. Yeah. Time to get the night off. Made a little bit of cash. Made a little bit of cash. Not enough for that. But enough for that. To be alive. Took some weight off. Put a little bit back. Trying to finish my smoke before I hit the track. May as well see what the stream health is like. Not great. 2.2% drop rate. 2.1. Working its way down. And before it happens, why don't I turn this sound bar off? Oh, it missed. Before it turns off in the middle of a corner with like 30 other people. Well, maybe not that many, but you know what I mean. It's so-called life. Something to take the edge off. Something to take the night off. Found a station that's actually playing me some good jams. A little too much shine down for my taste, but gotta be careful liking shine down on YouTube. Next thing you know, your whole station's nothing but shine down. Anybody else think these people kind of sound a little bit like Elton John? Just a little bit. Way. Good day. Boy, look at that car behind me. All body kitted. Got a funky red paint job on it. Try to speed up. Mr. Yokohama. It's the skinny pedal, man. It's the skinny pedal. I barely nudged him that time. Damn, his penalty system is broken. I'll accept it. We're not here to win the race. We're here for money. Even if I lose, I still get a little bit of money. there's a part of my brain can't wait to see what this car drifts like. Wants that position, doesn't he? I mean, if he'd have just stayed there, he was going to beat me anyway. It's an IROC behind me. There goes 3 laps. And we got a car level up, so we made a little money. Rain in the silence, yeah. No ovals. Oh dear Lord. It's not an oval. It's also probably one of my worst tracks. So skinny. There is close your eyes and there's nothing to see. I'll be fine if all we do is believe. For the camera. So big. We're just gonna leave it alone. No need for parts yet. Let's make some money. You know, one of these days I'm gonna have to tighten that shifter now. The thing just sits there and spins. It's gonna come off on me one of these days. Hi. I got a warning. I deserved it. Because he's driving my car, man. Not gonna fit. Wall tap. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Another warning. braked really late. Firewall. Car's broken. But it's... Oh heck, we still got a whole nother lap to go. Well, we'll see how this works out. I've never really broken the... or drove the car after it broke. Well, she doesn't turn good. Well, the guy in last must have really got boned on the start. She's got a little bit of a wobble that wasn't there before. Car leveled up. Makes me glad I went ahead and finished the lap. We got a lot of money to make though, because I want a motor swap in this car. So I can put the proper supercharger in. Motor damage, obviously. She's got an ugly mess. My goal is not to get last. Last is suck. They're gaining though. that wobble's getting worse. Boy, he is coming. Not to pass. You could give me a little push though. Thank you. Yeah. He got a penalty for that. You better fly, man. Oh no, he didn't get a penalty. Guy behind me. Wow, what did you do, man? Engine damage moderate. As long as I make it across the line, we hit the brakes real hard, the motor will cross the line before we do. They can get last. Maybe. Unless the car just dies right here. I wish they'd make the damage look like damage. That's one thing I do like about Ballista too, man. You can knock the tires off of that hood right off, all of that. We'll just skip that screen. Three laps on Spa. We're not going to do any upgrades. We're just going to save our money. As anything we put in the motor, we'll just have to put back in again. Off we go. I'm gonna be getting a phone call here pretty soon. I've seen some alarms roll through. I may have to go to work tonight. I don't wanna. I took the night off for a reason. Hi. Buddy in the Buick. Not good. Not good at all. He did it too. Well, me and my buddy in the Buick. Need to brake sooner, sir. Yeah, definitely. Hey, car leveled up. I couldn't turn left. I know that it did not make up any time, but that was fun. Alright, now let's drive responsibly. Well, that is pink. That was a change in music. Alright, you win the drag race. With your really pink car. I bet that guy's a fan of Motorsport 3. Yeah, I deserve that. have to download Wreckfest. It fits my driving style better. That's why we race against AI drivers. 'Cause I would feel bad if I did that to somebody. Song. I'm gonna get in trouble if I start singing along. Plus, I think it's making me drive violent. I didn't get last. I probably belonged in last, but I didn't get last. Hey, look, I made some money. Ew, yeah. I'm not gonna play in traffic on that. That track and me don't get along at all. See how much cash we've banked so far. Autocomplete tried to get me in trouble. Good Lord. I gotta just turn that off. Anyway, let's see what kind of cash we got sitting in the bank. $1,400. How much is the Engine swap gonna cost me. I need another 1150. Almost. But that's not gonna be the one. Inline 6. The 6.2 V8 probably. I got a 4-liter V8. But that's a twin turboed motor. Of course, then there's the V10 and the V12. Hang on to all those thoughts, people. I got a phone call. Hello. Off tonight. It's going to be Azariah. I just shared his number. A lady from Plains just called me too. Where it's leaving the transfer pump on. Yeah, and when I checked the BS&W last night, that stuff was perfect. Yeah, and then we can just disable it so it can get worked on again. I just sent you Ozzy's number. His name's Azariah, but he goes by Ozzy. If he doesn't answer you right away, he's probably on the phone with lady named Brianna from Plains. All right, boss. You too. 100% right. Phone call, then another phone call. And y'all probably heard some of it. Just delete it from your brain. I don't want to get me in trouble. Although I guess it doesn't really matter. Nobody knows what company I work for anyway. Well, some people do, but who cares? Trying to decide. I usually do all the weight reduction anyway, so I might as well just finish this area off. Go ahead and put the racing suspension on it. Even $900. I just really hate spending money just to take everything and put it all back on later. I guess as long as we're in here. Oh, that's the fattest tire. Why not? $200 valve. Until we get another $1,500, then we'll have enough money to drift tune it. Where did we say we were going? Hacone? Hack one? It's right for me. I need a little break. Gotta drain some stuff, refill some stuff. So give me just a few minutes. I'm halfway expecting another phone call. Hopefully that phone call isn't, hey, can you go take care of this? Because the new guy is solely unprepared for it. Hey, y'all out there got Xbox, man. Add me on a friends thing. And one of these days, we're gonna be doing some. I want to get enough people to do a private room on here. I said my name's up there in the corner usually. Which isn't currently, but there's a new Quake game out. Sorry, I haven't looked at my Xbox stuff in a while. Got a lot of suggested friends. Good Lord, my son hasn't been on anything Xbox in 114 days. As long as I'm in here, I'm just trying to make sure I never turned anything on that prevents people from sending me friend requests. Just, you know, sucks for me to be telling people, hey, and then, well, never mind. And I'm taking a little break, just a little one. Okay, yeah, no, that's all turned on. Groovy. End zone. No, groovy. I'm procrastinating because I'm expecting my phone to ring really soon. Autocomplete's such a jerk in text messages. That's all I got to say. Alright, that's all the good stuff taken care of. Slightly distracted. Slippery. Probably help if I was hammering the accelerator. But it's fun. We may go Oh yeah. Let's get out of traffic. We're not in the right mindset for that right now, especially with the distractions. And we can drift tune it. I think we got enough juice to make this thing do the drift. We'll leave that alone for now until we see what she does. That might be way too much. We're going to find out. Seems to have been working pretty good in the mid-engine stuff, but that doesn't mean crap for front-engine rear-wheel drive. Keep that pretty even. We're gonna find out. Them big old fat tires ain't gonna work. And that'll give us some cash for other things. That's it. That's what we can afford. Because, I mean, she does that and she's not even juiced up. Once she's got some consistent power, I don't even know that I'm going to even adjust suspension or not. Just get her juiced up and go from there. Now we're just waiting on the cash to do the motor swap. And then we got to go in and put all those parts back on. Of course, we won't have the cash for that after the motor swap. We'll have maybe $800 after that to goof off with. Didn't even look to see where I was going. Hockenheim, I think. Probably should have opened up the transmission a little bit so the last a little longer. Another shot. time. Down. Stuck inside. $350 still. I got so many cars. And there's another one I'm in love with. Sure, we'll do one more. I gotta take a small break though. Shall return in a minute. Yeah. Oh, doing circles on the 50. Okay. Go to your lap meter, like to your HMI there. I'll show you how to get there. Your set points are going to be down in the bottom right-hand corner of the HMI. Click as far down in that corner as you can. If you actually touch that little thing, it's going to pop up the screen and see what's happening. So it should pop up like the normal HMI login screen with the 5. So yeah, I'm not sure if Phil's watching it right now because he's not started back up and everything. Who was asking me about the set point? Brianna from Plains. She said that when they go down on those Dutch runners, to take the set points. Hold the tanks down too low? Yeah. You can look on your normal HMI and see what the tank levels are. I think we're producing tank 3 and 4 there. So. 3 and 4? I think so. I can't back that up with that. Those tanks with that data are kind of weird. Producing the 3 and 4. Tank 1, 3rd. I don't know why. Just gonna perfect it or something. I don't know. They haven't produced into it in a long time. I don't know what they're doing. I'm driving a freaking 325i BMW, drifted the heck out of that thing, hit it through it. If you don't get them done, you don't get them done, man. What you're doing is way more important. I can hear the plane left. So they may have changed the offset one down slow, or it got crashed again. And let that transfer pump on and freaking transferred all your oil into tank 1. about where it should be because it's been circulating since I started in the morning. Yeah, those are those two are your production tanks, so they're going to be equalized in the front. Yeah, only way to see the offset point, you might be able to go on Pigment and look at the lack there, and it can show you the set point. I can't. The lack unit on the HMI. Oh, you have your secret open right now? You opened this Golden Grinch? Okay, on the left-hand side where all your gas meters and stuff are, to the right of that, there should be two little buttons. One says ESD test, the other says lack available. Click on the lack hole. You can see your BS and W. If you scroll over, it might be one of those that says what its set points are. You can't change anything on there. That is the one thing I didn't really spend a lot of time with beyond the black unit that I probably should have. I can charge 2 hours for the call. I know, but maybe we can find that out. I'll put the can down. Now you know what I've been dealing with the last few nights with that freaking gold. One of those things, if you did it, I'd be like, I don't know what happened to my route. I can't even take it tomorrow. Your biggest problems are going to almost always be the golden crunch. The roadrunner route, they take care of it. So it's not really everything. That's why I kept trying to take it from my goal. So I was just waiting for something to go wrong. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take tonight off. Mostly because my daughter wanted to hang out, and then we both slept until like 2 o'clock and didn't do shit. But if I'm out there, I can't help myself. I go do shit. If I'm at the house, you can call me. I'll walk you through it as best I can, but at least it guarantees I won't go take care of something that I should have done before you call. You ain't going to learn if I'm doing it. Might as well. I should have done it last night. I didn't want to get more than 10 feet away from that lap because it would have completed. And we were so close to ESD and it wasn't true. I ain't having that happen in my life. Not if I can avoid it. They were supposed to fix that probe today too, and that's what's doing it the FedCom problem. The probe would lose communication with the HMI. The probe would read real low BS to the HMI. But if you stand, do you know where to look at for the BS&W probe on the left? Like, go to the very front of your lac unit where you're standing on that little platform. And if you see that blue PT that's coming off that pot in the back, like it's just stabbing out the side of it. Okay, you're standing directly in front of the lac. Okay, on the tube going down the line, there's a pressure PT. But before that, if you follow that tube back up into that pot, there should be one just hanging out the side. It'll say H2O precision on it. It may even have a 0 point whatever. Like if it says anything but 0, it's perfect. But it's a blue PT like what you see on top of the separators and whatnot, but probably a pretty good size one. I think it is bigger than that. Bigger than Sal had you pull a sample earlier? They hit set points. Should have. I think they got it set to turn off at 7 foot. But that big blue GT that's sideways coming out the side of that matrix BMW on the left. And if it's saying, yeah, and if it says anything other than that on that screen, it's not communicating with HMI. Yeah. You need to shut down because of DS, shut down to the set point. You want to look to see where you can see the set point? Because someday they may actually have you changing it. Usually control room can do all of that for you. Like if you're having an issue with set point and you don't know, but it's best to know what they're actually set at if they spend time flashing you. HMI screen that says no alarm on. Right, all the way to the right, that little gray tab that says, I think it says login or something like that, or pumper. That bottom right hand corner of that, tap that, see if it brings up a number pad screen. Brings up anything else you touch, pick the wrong button. Yeah, cancel that. Just hit that little X. And try again further down to the right. So you're almost off the screen. I use my very tip of my fingernail. Still doing the same. Yeah. And it's your same login. I don't want to say it out loud. I got a microphone on. And right there it'll say even on and odd on and even off or something like that. Should say like 9 foot or 10 foot. Yeah, 7 foot, and then the on should be like 9 foot or 10 foot. We had it at 10 foot last night. And if you touch any of those numbers, it brings up the number pad screen and you can change it to whatever you want. But don't do that without talking to people first. Unless someone tells you to change set points, we don't play with the lab. They're not our responsibility. That's why, like, they had me cutting seals last night. Like, dude, I get in trouble for this. I'm telling them before you do it. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't have a choice. Well, Grant is allowed. She scared the crap out of me all the time. I get scared. Just not. It's not something I'm used to. You gotta remember, I come from that old school bumping. You see a woman out there, that's a scary woman. She's gonna beat the heck out of you if you say the wrong thing. I sent her a message earlier to tell her that I wasn't out there, and I went to say ma'am. No, my phone auto completed in the fucking bomb. I fucking hated it. Crap. I don't know if she's seen it or not. She didn't say anything. Because that's termination right there. That's sexual harassment. I don't need that. Not because an iPhone decided to be a dick. Sticker in my foot. Dad made it. All right. Well, hopefully you don't have any other issues tonight. If you start reading VSW, just put that in a little bit of pump back on tank 3 and 4. That's why I wanted you to look at that 704 as well, because I didn't want to put any water in the heater if we can avoid it. Which I went through all of that last night, and the heater was taking care of the water off of the tank. But it can only handle. Yeah, it was good last night. I gave it just like a hair more spring so it would open and close a little fast. But I didn't want to over adjust it, and that son of a gun hang open and should have muted. More people watching. mine, I used it so much last night, I almost had to plug it in to charge it. Normally that thing runs on solar power all night long. Yeah, that's about where I left it last night. I wonder if they, because we kept getting that 1% on the oil side, and I think it's just the well is loaded real hard. So I would just keep an eye on it if it keeps doing it. Maybe give it a 16th of a turn on the freaking set screw. Pull it down with the air. That thing's so sensitive a little bit. That one. If I were you, I'd freaking take my time doing those bellies. The way you'll be there, maybe you'll still be there when the black comes on again. That way you don't get like halfway back to the road runner and freaking have to turn around. Make sure it comes on and reading proper. Plain Jane comes on. Goal measurement out there, or they just remote. Yeah, those are good numbers to collect. Save them in your phone book. Because even if they're not on call, most of them don't answer their phone at night anyway. I think the goal is on call back. And control room is your best friend for if you need a contact. What I did was I opened up the list of people that are in our night ops group, and I saved the control room separate, so I could send them messages outside of the group chat. Sometimes they miss messages in the group chat. They won't miss it. I got actually their phone number contact here as well. Although if you get that contact off there, you'll have their phone number as well. Because if you have like an extreme emergency and it's something you need a response to right now, you can call them. The control rooms are just like automation. They're going to turn into your best friend over time. Send them cookies. I brag on control room at night because they're way more responsive than the daytime people. But the daytime people, they don't pay attention to our area very good. All right, I'm going back to putting this beamer around the track. This thing has been impressing the shit out of me. Yeah, I got to do something to pass the time. I may have to work a day or so this week. Might as well play while I can. I've been too freaking tired. I usually stream in the morning when I get off work, but it's too late. I think I'm coming home and crash. Believe it or not, I get more viewers at 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning. Doing it at 5 o'clock. It's really weird. Like right now, I only got 8 viewers. Although I think I had 20 something earlier. Sorry, called when I answered the phone. Bandit. Trying to get more people to play that way I can run private groups, teach people how to drift. I moved up again the other day. I'm above the top 50 now. Yeah, that's not bad for the amount of people that are on the leaderboard. Now I'm getting close to the top 50. All right, Lester, be safe. And I said, I'll be up, and if not, I've got my phone off of mute, so I'll hear it when it rings. All right, man, you take it easy. Oh. All right. Let's put that on the right way. There we go. How are we doing on our stream health? I ain't looked at it recently. Hey, down to 1.9. I can't get out when I'm thinking about trying a little experiment. This car's almost got the right power. And normally I'm very adverse towards turbos. But I really don't like the centrifugal baloney. But I could put a turbo on it. We just have to accept the fact that it's going to lag a little bit. We'll start with the sport one. Where's that put us? 4.8 and 4.4. 411 pound-feet of torque. Let's go ahead and put the 1,000. 426 pounds of torque. I think I got enough. Not enough for all three, I don't think, but I got enough for the second one. Need all the torques we could get. I don't even know what track I'm on. I guess we'll find out. As long as we're not on a... Oh, Laguna. Yeah. Not my best track to drift on. Wrong screen. Sorry. Easy fix. The only thing nice about a turbo is once you get up in the RPM range, it holds pretty good. Get these tires hot. How we do on the corkscrew. Downhill right here. Almost kept it on the track. There's something slippery right there. But I want to go around. None of that. I don't know if I like the turbo. We're gonna put the supercharger on it and go from there. I think the 4.0 V8's got the right one. We're gonna find out. Away. Like the pine away, nothing seems to change. That's twin turbo. Centrifugal. That one's just twin turbo. So 6.2. I got the money for it. We actually lost power though, I do believe. Oh yeah, but look at our acceleration. Might as well start somewhere. Got $150. There's 100. And there's 50. Make the pain away, nothing seems to change. We may have to go out and alter that there transmission some more. Supercharger, we got to spread that power out a little bit. Stoke is such a feel-good track. Time to start thinking about a paint job. This Beamer's getting one. Ever having a bad day drifting, just come to Grando. It'll make you feel good about yourself. Track's so flippin' wide. I thought mistakes were made. And they were, but they weren't massive mistakes. Supercharge is just the way to go, man. Unlimited power. Got my tires left back there. I'm sure it was running on rim by now. Put that cigarette out. gonna be my first spin out. Yeah, 255 for my best. That's not terrible. Hopefully drift the whole track. But thanks. Don't know when. Sometime in there. Probably on this straight. Take a shot at the leaderboards. Can't remember if this thing's A class or B class. One of them. That car is a beast. I'm in love. 86 M6. Yeah. They knew how to build them in the 80s. They were ugly as hell, but good God. Yeah, that mean up there. I think we're going to go and toss this thing at rivals. Let's see how they're... Got to see what class she's in. Good Lord. A class. So, Grand Oak or the Thief? Well, without me. Let's do Barcelona. I feel like getting robbed. That hairpin seals my points. Where's the little green guy at? What's great is I still got room. High. And I'm hitting the limit of my time. 3 hours in and I'm still racing. Of course there were distractions. Trying to decide if I really want to put any more in it. She's pretty good. And we'll put a little cam in it. I'm going to put the flywheel in it just to make up for the weight I'm going to put back in it right there. But everybody bleeds. It's going to be my last hurrah, so when this thing irritates me, I'm out. Too much. Darn thieving corner. I've gotten so high on this list, I can't bank for the corner. I gotta make that corner. So I can keep them points rolling. Think about the points you lost. But they were probably enough. much. Not the bad words. Even that. Think about the points you lost, for the fact that that probably was enough. Pretty close. Humbug. Thought I would have beat the heck out of it. Stupid thieving corner. Don't drive angry. Eat it. God dang 11 laps. Well, at least somebody was here to see it. I got witnesses. Oh. We're going to save that one. Beautiful. Top 2%. 99th. Good night. I have been trying for so long, and that was a big jump. Because I was in like the top 5 or 4, top 4%. Yeah. True you. That's all I got to say. We're not going to watch it. That's going to have to be another video. So I got room without having to delete me? Woohoo! I don't have to delete nothing. Alright, well, thanks for watching. And those that watch later, stick around to the end. That's all I'm going to say. Because that was amazing. And I might make a full replay, all 10, 11, I don't know, however many laps. Beautiful. Alright. We got all the important things done. Why did I do that? Go away. Sorry, Mr. Eminem. You get to go to sleep now. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Come back next time. Watch again. Expect the video soon. I probably might edit it tonight and load it up tomorrow. Because that's keepable. I mean, yeah, 99th and out of 4,715-ish. Actually, I think it's more than that. R button. No, 4715. That's still amazing. It's still amazing. Because that track is so hard. So hard. Alright. Till next time. Keep it sideways. Don't drive angry. Although I don't know. I had a little bit of rage on that last lap. Maybe focused anger. Focused anger. That's the way to go. Y'all take it easy.